Good morning, good evening, and welcome everyone joining us from all over the world today on the Glow by Heartfulness webinar, which is an acronym for Genuine, Loving, Outstanding Women, where we are commemorating the World Music Day, which falls on June 21st. Incidentally, it's also the International Day of Yoga, and here from the Heartfulness Institute, we also brought to you an amazing 100-day yoga program culminating with the 100th day on June 21st. And I hope you greatly benefited by that. Glow's mission is to compassionately empower women through the tool of meditation. Solutions are to be birthed from our hearts. We focus on creating a support system for women, thereby they can navigate their life and life's challenges and strive to become the best they can be in their personal and professional ventures. Each webinar also offers an introduction to heartfulness relaxation and meditation. Heartfulness meditation, which is bringing to you the Glow webinars, is present in over 130 plus countries. We teach heart-based meditation, where we meditate on the light and love in the heart in the presence of yogic transmission or pranahuti. So today on the Glow webinars, we have a very interesting person, Darshana KT. We bring to you Darshana KT to commemorate the World Music Day. Darshana doesn't need any introduction, but for the sake of it, let me continue. She's a playback singer who has worked on Tamil, Telugu, Hindi movies. She lives in Chicago. She travels to India on and off for her movies, voiceover projects, and independent projects. She started singing from a very early age, from even like 5 years old. Her most notable work, which is also her debut song, Maduraiku Pogadari, has won a lot of accolades. Some of her most recent works are from Okay Kanmani, Tara Atakara, Kira Ulla, and Mental Madilo. She has her own studio and does a lot of shows. She was recently a guest speaker for a masterclass on vocal production for World Music Forum at Columbia College in Chicago. She spoke about how we work in Indian music scene, classical, folk, our roots, our cultural aspect, and also a lot about Bollywood. She conducts workshops for people in and around Chicago. And she also tells me that she's passionately waiting for the pandemic to end so that she can be set free. She can travel back again to India and start her recording and her shows. She's worked with a lot of Indian music geniuses like Ilayaraja sir, A R Rahman sir, who has also mentored her. She's also worked with Sai Taman sir in the movie Kanchana for the song Karuppu Peraragam. She's worked with Santosh Narayanan for the movie Bhairavam. She's worked with Harris Jairaj for the movie Kapan, with Pradeep for the movie Miyadaman. So Darshana, thank you so much for joining us today. And that was like, I mean, it's already a great achievement. And it's been an inspiration just to talk over you the past few days. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, Purnima, for having me over. This is good to connect with people. Um, After such a long time, I haven't been on social media or any other platform. I took a break for about a year, so I'm very happy that my first interview would be with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you on behalf of the Heartfulness Institute, on behalf of the Glow webinars, on behalf of all the participants. So, just as we begin the webinars, tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, how you started your music journey. Tell me something more which is going to really inspire all of us.
So yeah, I started singing at a very early age, but becoming famous was never a part of my upbringing or what my parents instilled in me. They were very particular that you have a talent, just work towards making that talent better, because not everyone is gifted with the gift of music. So don't waste it. And so they were very particular that I learned and I practiced and I just focused on doing doing things step by step. The whole of my school years we lived in Kuwait, and whatever shows happened in and around Kuwait, I would go participate, and that's how my love for stage singing happened, and I've given quite a few of them. And once I got back to Chennai for my college, is when I wanted to take singing a little bit more seriously. Although my I graduated from MOP, and my stream of education was journalism and media. I basically love talking to people. I love asking questions, and love to write. but somehow, music has always pulled me and towards it, and just couldn't let go. So I started performing with smaller bands all over Chennai, and got noticed by a genius called Rajesh Vaidya sir. All of you know he's a Veena artist, and I got to meet him. I sang for him, and he said, "Why don't you come and sing in my albums?" So அவர் பண்ற ஒரு sorry தமிழ்ல பேசலாமா?
Uh, the audience
Oh.
is USA and India, but you can sprinkle with.
I just wanted to double check with you. Yeah. So yeah, I got to meet the musical genius Rajesh Vaidya sir, and he's a Veena artist. Everyone knows him. He's world renowned. And he said, "Why don't you sing a couple of lines for me?" So I sang, and he was very kind enough to include me in all of his albums at that point in time. So I got a lot of my initial experiences were singing for Rajesh Vaidya sir for his albums. And then from then on, I slowly started singing for advertisements and lots and lots of Sun TV and other local channel series. From there, I started working for a lot of background vocals for movies. And that was a good 3.5 years of struggle and constant work. Finally, I got to meet Mr. A R Rahman, and it was the day everything changed for me, because it's a dream come true for any artist, or in fact anyone actually, just to go meet him. He's so inspiring and so kind, and for me to get an opportunity to work with someone like him was probably the best day of my life. And from then on, it's a great pathway for me, my musical journey.
Thank you, Darshna. That is really, really inspiring to listen to. Tell me a little bit about yourself, which the world doesn't know. Any special skills other than music? Any special qualifications other than music?
I think growing up, I've been more close with my mother than my dad. So, and my mother has been a teacher, school teacher forever, and she is also a Kalakshetra student of fine arts. So arts and music and all of that has always been a part of my growing up, part of us growing up. So things that you would probably not know is my mom used to teach us art at home, or we would see her do a lot of it, and we would just me and my sister, I have a younger sister, we both would just sit around her and see what she would do and just be very curious about the paints and whatnot. So, and she specialized in Tanjore art. Although I didn't really get into Tanjore art, I'm more of I work on glass painting, and I had a small show here in Chicago where I had displayed about 50 to 60 Ganeshas.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a good experience in a sense. You feel sort of it. First of all, it was surprising to know that many people know Ganesha over here. He seems to be a very favorite god of all. So it was a good experience. So that's something I did over here with arts. Not many people know that. I've not spoken about that much. And yes, of course, my mother is a teacher, so she's very inclined to us constantly taking up courses. Her main goal, both my parents, they always say, keep yourself occupied. Don't just sit and say, oh, there's nothing to do, and don't do anything. Just keep yourself occupied. So just that led me to take a Montessori teachers training course when I was in India. So there was one time when I traveled to India and I had to stay put there for a year. I generally do like a 3-month, come back to Chicago, or and then travel back. But there was one time where I stayed put there for about a year, and my mother was like, okay, I know you have your recordings and you're busy, but I think you should take this up. And I did my Montessori teachers training program in Chennai, and I also got to work as a teacher. I mean, I volunteered as a teacher here for about 6 months. So it was good. It was a good experience. It's different when you try different things. You experience a lot more, and you see how you can put those experiences back to your art. Because for me, I think art is a great way of, or for anyone, it's a great way of letting your emotions out. So for me, whatever experiences I gain, I put it out through my music or my art, or I write. So this is probably not something I have spoken about before.
You are an artist, you are a writer, you are a teacher, and you are a musician.
I wouldn't say teacher, but yeah, I did try it up for about 6 months, but it's a good experience.
Okay, so now to the most important part. You worked a lot with A R Rahman sir. How did it happen? How did your first break happen? And what made that break happen? And how does it feel to work with him?
The first break was so there's this common notion that okay, how do I put this answer? Mm, okay, so essentially I was asked to make a CD with my songs and go drop it off at his studio and wait for him to call. And this was what everyone, that was the common thing that was followed 11 years ago, because social media was not too prevalent. So you didn't have the opportunity to record yourself on social media platforms and then put it out there and get it rolling or get it viral, right? So that was I think what I did. But for some reason I never got a call back, so I thought I must be one in like thousands who have given this a shot. There's I didn't see much of an opportunity, but at least I tried. But at that point I was also working with GV Prakash, who's also another brilliant music composer. And I think one of his managers or somebody was contacted by Rahman sir's manager at the time, and they wanted singers. So they had recommended my voice to go and showcase to Mr. A R Rahman. And incidentally, I think they had the movie was for Shivaji, which is Rajini sir's movie, and I'm a big Rajini sir fan. I don't know if you can see that. I'm a
I
big
can.
Rajini sir fan. so so that happened, and I went there. I thought it was just a voice audition, but I think they were incorporating a song at the very last minute, or they were yet to record that song. So I was called in to sing a few lines. SPB sir had already finished the song, um, and I was called in to sing a few lines. So it was not exactly an audition, but that was my first time singing and meeting Mr. A R Rahman. That was I don't know. I kind of froze, which I do sometimes right now. He's such a big personality, and but he's so calm and composed, and it's I don't know how he does it all, uh, but I will never forget that experience of meeting him for the first time. And he just came and said, "Hi, my name is A R Rahman." So I was like, "Yes, hello sir, my name is Darshna." So he said, "Did you get the lyrics?" I said, "Yes, sir, we got the lyrics." "Okay, you can go into the booth and sing." And then we sang, and then he had already left. Then we were asked to wait to see for corrections, and then I left. And so I never expected a call back or anything. I mean, that experience was like more than I had hoped for or ever thought about. And I didn't have a mobile at that time. There was no way to take photos. There was like I didn't have an opportunity to get his autograph. There was nothing. I didn't even know if people would believe me when I told them I'd met him. So but thankfully I got calls back to the studio to work, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful that he gave me all those opportunities to work with him.
Thank you so much, Darshana. I'm really bowled over by your modesty and your humility and your sweet, sweet, gentle nature. Tell me something special about the music industry which the public doesn't know or doesn't see.
See, I think contrary to popular belief about any like entertainment industry, um, I think the general public seems to focus on the jazz and the bling and all of that, but that's just I think the very end of it. Like that's the last part. but there's so much work that every artist puts in. um, and and I think it's constantly you get inspired. There will never be a point where you will find an whether it's a very big celebrity or just upcoming or whatever, they will never say, oh, I'm done, I'm fine, I know everything. They're constantly learning, they're constantly updating themselves. They know where their flaws are, they know how to make themselves better. They're very, very helpful. I can actually say it with a lot of pride that I've made a lot of friends in this, especially the music field, um, because it's impossible to make progress just by yourself. I mean, some people have done it, but for me, I'm very thankful because there are singers who continue to live in India and get their networking done. For me, it's not like that. So when I come back to Chicago, uh, there is a good possibility that everyone might forget me, because it is what it is. When you're out of sight, you're out of mind. I'm so thankful that every time I go back, my friends or my family would say, how do you constantly get opportunities to sing? And it is only because of the rest of the singers, because they know I'm coming here to Chennai just to continue my singing and career. They know how much hard work it takes, so they respect the time and energy that I put in. So they are also very helpful. They kind of give me the new numbers, new manager numbers, or new music director numbers, and they kind of include, um, which I think many people feel, oh, there's this lot of competition, there's too much cutthroat, and there's too much negativity. I think that's prevalent in every place and every person, um, but beyond that, there is the sense of inclusion. Like, you're a part of our group, and we're all in this together, so we'll do it together. And that helpful nature from every singer, and nobody's in an obligation to give me an opportunity to sing, any music director, right? But to see that, okay, someone is putting an effort to come back and to continue the career, and that to me is astonishing. I'm very grateful that I have those kind of people in my circle and in my life, so I get to be inspired, and I try to help. So it's a two-way thing. Once you're exposed to that much of positivity and good people, you have no choice. You tend to become good yourself. So I'm very thankful for those kind of people in the industry. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Darshana. That was a very, very humbling answer, a very beautiful answer. You really bowled us over by what you shared about the sisterhood and brotherhood and the humanityhood in the music industry, in the movie industry, because people only tend to look at the glamour and glitz of all these things. Yes, I do agree that we only think of all these industries as a cutthroat competition place. We don't look at it as a place where each one embraces the other and goes along in this collective journey. Going one step forward, I don't know if this is a personal question or it's still a professional personal question or whatever, but we're all fans of A R Rahman sir. So when I look at his shows and when I've heard people talk about him, when I read his interviews, he comes across as a very humble, authentic, genuine, and very sweet person. Do you have any personal experience like this which you can tell me, if it's okay with you?
I mean, there are so many. First of all, I feel like he has mentored so many artists, but to know that I'm one among them uh, makes me feel very special. I don't say this with a lot of, like, pride or whatever, but um, just to feel like I'm one of the people that got to work with him a lot more and got to learn from him so much, um, has, I think, changed me as a person a little bit. I'm still working on being better. um, there was an incident that happened quite recently, actually right before the whole pandemic started. There was a big AR Rahman US tour, and I was not a part of that tour, actually. But however, I had contacted the studio because I wanted tickets to go watch him perform. when he was coming to Chicago. But instead, I got an email asking if I would like to be a part of the show. Now that it's a very how do I put it? It's a very happy moment, but at the same time, I could feel my heart in my mouth because I was shocked. I didn't know how I was going to handle the show because I hadn't been practicing with the team, with the group, and I know that they had been practicing for about 6 months. Whenever there is tour, he likes everything to be perfect, and there's just a lot of rehearsals, which I was not a part of. But he called me over, and when he had come to Chicago with his team, I met him, and then I thought to myself, maybe I would just be singing with the rest of the chorus because they needed more chorus. They needed one more singer. So I assumed in my head that I would be singing some of the parts. And there were other female leads who had come there, and they were supposed to let me know what I had to sing. So I went up to their room, and they were giving me parts for every song. And I got back home, and there were like 50 songs, one after the other. So I was listening to all the harmonies and the format of the show. So the next day I went with a mindset, okay, Rahman sir will ask the main singers to sing, and I will do my chorus and parts really well. And this is going to be good because I'm going to be able to perform with Rahman sir after a really long time. I had performed maybe 7 years ago, and then twice it never worked out. But this was my opportunity, and I didn't want to miss it. So we're all there. There's Udit, Narayan sir, and there's just like big singers everywhere. And then he has the sheet of paper, and I'm ready with all my sheets with all the chorus parts with oohs and ahs written with notations. And he calls me, and he shows me hands over the paper, and he says, so tell me, which song would you like to sing? And I honestly did not expect him to do that. I was in tears. It was a shock that he even thought that I would be able to perform all of those. The show is next day, and he has the belief that I would be able to sing that. And so I just checked on 2-3 songs, and I said, sir, I think I would be able to sing all of these other songs. And he looked at Mano sir, and he looked at me, and then he said, why don't you sing Veerapandi Kottayile with Mano sir? And I mean, you grow up listening to that song thousands and thousands of times, and then for you, when you get to perform the song with the composer and with the singer, that takes it to a whole new level. Now I didn't expect that at all. But what he did was one step higher, and he says, you're from Chicago, right? So why don't we do something? Why don't you sing Mafi Mushkil from the movie Mom? And we will do a small dedication to Sridevi ma'am, who's no more, unfortunately. That was the last movie she worked on, and that was the first time I got to sing my solo for Sridevi ma'am for the movie. And that song will remain very, very close to my heart. And when he said that, I said, okay sir, thank you so much. Next day show was done, and then one of the tech guys from his team, after the show got over, came to me and he said, sir got all these set of music just for you from Chennai because he included that song for you last minute, just so I feel included. You tell me, how do you feel when someone like him does that for you? He had no obligation, right? He could have just told me. I would have been very happy just singing chorus, honestly, just to be a part of the show. But he goes one level high, and he gives me a lot of songs to sing, a lot of solos. And then he goes one more level higher up, and he says, well, it is Darshna city. I mean, she's from Chicago. Let's give her a song. And for him to get that last minute, he needn't have done that, but he chose to do it because that's who he is. And I can say that because I'm sure he will not do that just for me. I think he'll do that for everyone. He's very worried about how everyone feels in his group, how everyone is treated in the studio. He's respectful to everyone. It doesn't matter if you are coming to the studio for the first time or if you've been there a million times. It's always the same. And he's always wanting to learn more, wanting to know what you are doing with music in your life. Have you done this? Or he'll give you suggestions. So things like this um, makes you realize the power of kindness and what effect it has on the rest of the people that are right around you. When you look back, I'm nobody, like compared to him. I'm nobody. But for him to make me feel so included at that point speaks volumes about the kind of person he is. And that's where he is. Yeah, he's just like, I don't know, there's so many instances, but there's something not many people know. um and it's not like he will do it once and he'll forget about it. He's just constantly he does it. That's the kind of person he is.
Thank you so much, Darshana, for sharing this beautiful, poignant, personal story from your heart. Thanks to A R Rahman sir for such inspiration to be shared. I hope one day we can invite him on the webinars with the Heartfulness Institute, and I hope that day will come soon. So, Darshana, you were talking about the pandemic, and I want to ask you this: how are you coping up as a family, as a mother, especially as a wife, as a how does life look for you? Because you have a lot of recordings to do. How is your music life being affected? How is your personal life being affected?
I think 2020, the initial shock was a bit too much. Uh, and we can say it for the whole world, right? We're all in shock. We didn't know what to expect. Um, we just didn't know what this was, but we just knew that it was all over the world. So I think it gave us a great opportunity for all of us to come together as one human species, and we have one common enemy and how to work together. Well, that being said, all of us being at home together, not being able to go out, was extremely challenging. I'd say our true colors sort of came out during this pandemic. Because kids are generally at school, and Katie is at work and I'm by myself, so each one has their own space. We're so used to everything, and I feel like I felt the first initial 3 months, I felt like everyone was at home, they're invading my space, because this was you know my kitchen and my living room. Why is everyone here? um, but I think just as any other family has coped up, we've tried ways in which we could come together as a family. We finally took out our board games and we made sure we do things more productive as a family. It's difficult. I'm thankful for every doctor, every nurse, every people who are with first aid, people who are on call 24/7. What would we have done without them? I don't know. I'm just ever so thankful and grateful to all humans who have helped us recover, be it the scientists, be it the news journalists, constantly reporting, constantly. They are risking their own lives. um, I mean, hats off to them for all that they have done. So yeah, I'm just hoping everyone gets vaccinated. I'm pro vaccine, so I hope everyone gets vaccinated, everyone is in a safe place. And yes, I'd like to start traveling. I'd like to feel more free. And I think, hoping that this would help us realize what we have and how we have to be thankful for what we have, whatever is left, um, and not take anything for granted. People, time, place, memories, just don't take anything for granted. We should be very thankful.
Thank you, Darshana. Yeah, I agree. We need to show more gratitude. We need to be more present. So, a lot of young girls, of course, and young boys have joined us today. And they have joined us today with the hope of being inspired by you and with your music journey. So, what would you like to share with these young, beautiful souls who have fallen in love with music and who would like to have a career in music? And what can they take back from you?
I don't know if I have reached the point in place where I can let people know how to go about their journey. But I would like to say that you truly need to believe in yourself, no matter what talent you have. It could be music, arts. If you engineering is your passion, go for it. But go for it 100%. Don't do it because you need to make other people happy, and then not being happy with yourself, and that kind of derails you from everything that you have going on in your life. It also affects everything. So I would just say, keep your passion going on. And if you want to get into music, I'd really suggest you take some form of class. I never saw the benefits of it. Looks like there are there are benefits when you take classes. There's so many things that you can learn. Maybe you play around with your voice, try something different, try singing something that you probably would never get to sing. Social media is booming right now. Make use of it. I never made use of social media to the extent that I should have, because I'm not that kind of a person. I'm not a very social media kind of a person. I'm slowly getting into that right now, because I feel like that's my only way of communicating right now. And there was no need for that before. um, but yeah, I think social media plays such an important part in all of our lives. And if uh, we get to connect so much, you get to showcase your art more beautifully, and it reaches a larger audience. So I think everything is set for you. It's just you and what you're going to do with your talent, right? So go for it. I mean, there's no set time. Just any time is a good time to start. Just start.
Thank you so much. I hope your words of inspiration is useful and beneficial for all these young, beautiful, sweet, melodious voices. But if there is any other question you would like to ask Darshana, please put it in the comments below and she's going to answer them. Moving on, I know that you do a lot of meditation, you do a lot of yoga, you also do breathing exercises. So tell me, what is the similarity or what have you found which is helpful for you from these exercises and activities and techniques?
So I was never into meditation, and definitely not into breathing exercises and all that jazz. 2020, I think, was a turning point, because everyone was trying something different. Just out of peer pressure, I started with this. 2020 was also the year I realized that I have a deviated septum, which means the intake of my oxygen, the breathing, has always been difficult. So I never knew what the cause was, but I got to know that I have a deviated septum. So I just watched a random YouTube video and I started doing pranayama. In about 10 to 12 days, I found a change. Like I could feel an ease in me when I didn't have the difficulty in breathing. So I thought, why not dwell deeper into it and see the other benefits? And I started doing it very, very regularly. So that's how the yoga journey for me started. um, and then of course I got into, there was not an opportunity for me to go out a lot, because we were all at home and I needed to stretch. So it was a very need based. So I started like very minimal stretching of yoga, and I would just do it for like 2-3 minutes, and feel like, oh, I've done yoga, sort of a thing. um, and then of course I have my hang drum that I play. um, with all the three things that I've said, I think I relate more to the hang drum, because I like the vibrations that it creates. So I tend to I tend to how do I put it? The hang drum kind of resonates. Whatever the vibrations I get, it calms me down more than any other sort of meditation. So I'm not the kind of person who will go sit in a corner and close my eyes and meditate. To me, meditation would be something to just calm myself down. There are days that I listen to Eminem's rap, and I that calms me down. So as long as something is calming me down, I would call that meditation. So for me, hang drum has really helped. So I started playing that a lot more, and initially it started with just 10 minutes, and then it moved on to 15 without my knowledge, and then now I can play the hang drum for about 25 minutes every day, and that 25 minutes, it's become like a routine for me. So it sort of clears up my mind. I let go of things that I shouldn't be holding on to. um, it's a great way for me to connect back to music. If not for singing, what else? So this is something that I like hearing. I like the instrument. I like the notes, the vibrations that come out of it. So I think that's what I started. So for me, meditation is more of me playing that instrument and um, calming myself down, which in turn leads to a lot of clear thinking.
Thank you so much, Darshana. So, Darshana, when we were promoting your webinar, we had a few requests that, are you, could we ask you to sing a song on the webinar?
Okay, what would you like me to sing? Just some of the movie songs or something apart from it? What would you like for me to sing?
Up to you, up to you.
Okay, so we're talking about meditation, and the webinar is glow. So why don't I sing you a small shloka? That's okay.
Go for it. Thank you so much.
उल्लङ्घ्य सिन्धोः सलिलं सलिलं यशोकवर्णिं जनकात्मजायाः आदार्ति दैव ददाहलङ्का नमामि तं Pranjaniranjaneyam.
Thank you so much. Thank you from our hearts. It was so sweet, so melodious, and so beautiful and rich. Thank you so much, Darshana. On that beautiful note, shall we have an experiential session of heartfulness, relaxation, and meditation for the benefit of the audience and for all of us?
Absolutely.
Thank you. For the benefit of the audience, you don't need to have any prior experience to try heartfulness meditation. Just follow my voice and just I would just go over some relaxation commands to relax your body. And towards the end of it, we would slip into meditation. We would meditate on the source of light in the heart. And that would just be for 5 to 10 minutes. So let's start now. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Let's begin from the toes. Relax your toes. Relax your feet. As you feel your feet completely relaxed, feel an energy from Mother Earth rising up through your feet. And as this energy moves up, it relaxes your legs, your calf muscles, your knees, your thighs. And it slowly, gently moves up. And as it moves up, it relaxes your hips. It relaxes your stomach. Slowly, gently, it moves up. And as it moves up, it relaxes your lower back, middle back, upper back. Your whole back is completely relaxed. This energy moves up your chest area, relaxing your chest, your shoulders. and it flows through your arms, relaxing your upper arms, elbows, lower arms, wrist, palm, your fingers, your fingertips. This energy oozes out of your fingertips. Your whole arm is completely relaxed now. Feel your shoulders and neck relaxing as this energy moves up. The muscles in your neck are slowly, comfortably, gently getting relaxed. Feel them melting away. Feel all the tension and stress in the muscles of your neck relaxing and melting away. This energy moves up to your head. The muscles in your head are getting relaxed. Your jaws, your lips, your cheeks, your ears, nose, lips, eyes, eyelids, your head, tip of your head, the back of your head. Your whole head is completely relaxed now. Slowly, gently bring your attention to your heart. There is a source of light in your heart. And let's meditate on this source of light for a few minutes. As you meditate on this light in the heart, feel this pulling deep within. Feel this light pulling you deep into meditation. Let's meditate together. Whenever you're ready, please open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining us, Darshna.
Thank you so much, Purnima. I really enjoyed the meditation session. Maybe I should start sitting in a corner with my eyes closed. This is really relaxing and calming. And I loved how you guided me through the meditation.
But
Thank you so much.
you've already started today. So
Thank
yeah.
you so much.
Yeah, so let's continue. If you like it, we should continue. And for the benefit of the participants, there would be more information towards the end of the webinar, which we have reached now, for you to continue your heartfulness journey and heartfulness meditation. And please get in touch with a heartfulness trainer. Please download the Hearts app, where there are thousands of heartfulness trainers who are logged in every day, every minute from all over the world. And you're welcome to join Daji in the live meditation sessions every Sunday at 7 a.m. India time. So Darshna, as we come to a close of this webinar, do you have any closing thoughts? Do you have anything you would like to share with the participants, with all of us?
You know, Purnima, I'm so thankful today I got to meet everyone through this webinar. And I really enjoyed talking to you. This is a great way to connect, and meaningful conversations is something that I always look forward to. Um, I hope our situation in the world gets better and we all work towards it becoming better faster. So, really, thank you for this.
Thank you for your presence, Darshna. It's a complete honor, privilege. I don't know what words to use. A lot of gratitude, a lot of love, a lot of respect. And let's keep meeting often. And thank you so much from the core of all our hearts.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me over.